Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Focus English with Cece. Let me ask you a question. Have you ever had an interview where the interviewer smiled and said, "Tell me about yourself," and suddenly your mind went blank? You didn't know where to start? You talked too much. You talked about your family. You talked about your hobbies. And after a few minutes, you felt like something was wrong. If this has happened to you, don't worry, because you're not alone. Many English learners think this question is easy, but in reality, it is one of the most important questions in an interview. And unfortunately, it is also one of the questions that candidates answer badly. Today, we're going to learn why interviewers ask this question, what bad answers sound like, what good answers sound like, and we're going to practice together with a real interview role play. By the end of this lesson, you'll know exactly how to answer this question with confidence. So, grab your notebook, take a deep breath, and let's begin. First, let's understand something very important. When interviewers say, "Tell me about yourself," they are not asking for your life story. They are not asking where you were born, how many brothers and sisters you have, what your favorite food is. They already have your resume. They can already read your education. They can already see your work experience. So why do they ask this question? Because this is actually a test, not a test of your memory, not a test of your personal life. It's a test of how you present yourself as a professional. Because in many interviews, this is the very first question, and first impressions happen very quickly, sometimes in less than 1 minute. The interviewer is already asking themselves, can I imagine this person working with my team? Can this person communicate with customers? Can this person represent our company professionally? That's why this question is so important, because your answer tells them much more than your words. It shows your thinking. It shows your confidence. It shows your communication skills. Because in almost every job, communication matters. Even if you work in an office, even if you work in a restaurant, even if you work from home, people need to explain ideas, work with colleagues, talk to customers, solve problems, and all of that starts with communication. So when they ask, "Tell me about yourself," they're looking for three important things. Number one, can you communicate clearly? Can you organize your thoughts? Can you explain yourself professionally? Can you give information in a simple and logical way? Because if your introduction is confusing, people may wonder, will this person also communicate like this at work? Number two, do you understand the job? Can you connect your experience to the position? Can you explain why your background is relevant? Because companies are not looking for random information. They're looking for reasons to hire you. They want to hear who you are, what experience you have, and why you're a good fit. Number three, are you confident? Can you introduce yourself naturally? Can you stay calm under pressure? Can you make a good first impression? Because confidence creates trust, and trust is incredibly important in an interview. Think about it. The first answer you give in an interview often creates the first image of who you are. If your answer is confusing, the interviewer may think you're unprepared. If your answer is too long, the interviewer may think you don't know how to communicate effectively. If your answer sounds like you're reading your resume, the interviewer may think you don't understand the purpose of the question. But if your answer is clear, simple, and focused, you immediately sound more professional, more confident, and more prepared. Remember, this question is not about your whole life. It's not about telling every detail about yourself. It's about showing who you are as a professional. Because sometimes the answer to "tell me about yourself" is not just your introduction, it's your first opportunity to make the interviewer think, this person could be a great fit for our team. Now, let's hear a bad example.
Tell me about yourself.
Okay.
My name is David. I'm 27 years old. I live with my parents and my younger sister. I like playing football. I love watching movies. I have 2 dogs. I enjoy traveling and eating pizza. And my dream is to visit Japan someday. That's all.
Did you notice the problem? This answer isn't terrible. The candidate sounds friendly. He sounds like a nice person. Maybe he really loves football. Maybe he has adorable dogs. Maybe he makes great pizza recommendations. But none of that helps the interviewer make a hiring decision. Because remember, this is a job interview, not a first date, not a conversation with a new neighbor, and not a social media profile. The interviewer only has a short amount of time to understand who you are, usually just a few minutes. So every sentence you say should help answer one important question. Why should we hire you? But this candidate never answered that question. He talked about personal information, but he didn't talk about his skills, his experience, why he is suitable for the job, how he can help the company. He didn't mention what he is good at, what he has done before, what value he can bring, or why he applied for this position. So the interviewer is probably thinking, that's nice, but why should I hire you? Can you do this job? Do you have relevant experience? What makes you different from other candidates? And the truth is, the interviewer still doesn't know. This is one of the biggest mistakes in interviews. Many people introduce themselves like they are introducing themselves to a new friend. They talk about hobbies, their family, their pets, their favorite food, their travel dreams. But an interview is different. You need to sound professional. You need to show value. You need to explain why you fit the position. Think of your introduction as a short advertisement. You are introducing your professional self. You are showing your strengths. You are connecting your experience to the job. You are helping the interviewer imagine you as part of their team. Remember, friendly information is okay, but professional information gets you hired. When you answer, "Tell me about yourself," don't ask yourself, "What do I want to tell them?" Instead, ask yourself, "What information will make them want to hire me?" Now, let's learn a simple formula. I call it present, past, future. Very easy. And the best part? You can use this formula for almost any job. Office jobs, customer service jobs, sales jobs, even if you have little or no experience. Why? Because this formula tells the interviewer a complete story. It answers 3 important questions. Who are you now? What have you done? Where do you want to go? That's exactly what interviewers want to know. Let's break it down. Step 1. Present. Who are you now? Start with your current situation. Tell the interviewer where you are in your career today. Example, I'm currently working as a customer service representative, or I'm a recent graduate in business administration. Simple, direct, no unnecessary details. You don't need to talk about your hobbies. You don't need to talk about your family. Just explain your current professional identity, because this immediately helps the interviewer understand your background. Step 2. Past. What experience do you have? This is where you show your value. Talk about your experience, your skills, your achievements. Example, I've worked with customers for 3 years and developed strong communication skills. Or, I completed several projects during university and gained experience in teamwork. Notice something important. The candidate isn't listing every job, every project, or every responsibility. They're only talking about experiences that are relevant to the position, because interviewers don't need your entire history. They need evidence that you can do this job. Step 3. Future. Why are you here? This is the part many candidates forget. They talk about the present, they talk about the past, and then they stop. But interviewers also want to know your direction. Why did you apply? What are you looking for? Example, I'm looking for an opportunity where I can continue learning and contribute to your organization. This answer shows ambition, it shows motivation, and it shows that you're thinking about the future. Remember, companies don't just hire people for today, they want people who can grow with the organization. This formula is simple, it's clear, and it sounds professional. Even better, it keeps your answer organized, because when people get nervous, they often jump from one idea to the next. They talk about school, then their hobbies, then an old job, then something completely unrelated. The interviewer gets confused. But present, past, future gives you a clear roadmap. One step, then the next, then the next. No confusion, no rambling, no awkward silence. Example, good answer. Hi, my name is Lucy. I'm currently working as a customer service representative at ABC Company. I've spent the last 3 years helping customers solve problems and improving my communication skills. During that time, I learned how to work under pressure and collaborate with different teams. Now I'm looking for a new opportunity where I can continue growing professionally and contribute to your organization. Thank you. See? Short, clear, professional, and relevant. Notice that Lucy talked about her present, then her past, then her future. Every sentence had a purpose. Every sentence helped answer one important question. Why should we hire you? And when your answer does that, you immediately sound prepared, you immediately sound confident, and you immediately sound like someone the interviewer wants to know more about. That's exactly what interviewers want to hear. So, today you learned something very important. When interviewers ask, "Tell me about yourself," don't tell your whole life story. Don't talk for 5 minutes about your hobbies. Don't explain every job you've ever had. And don't give information that has nothing to do with the position, because the interviewer is asking a professional question. So you need to give a professional answer. Instead, remember this simple formula: present, past, future. Let's review one more time. Present, who are you now? What's your current situation? Example, I'm currently working as. I'm a recent graduate in. Past, what experience do you have? What skills have you developed? What have you learned? Example, I've gained experience in. I've developed strong skills. Future, why do you want this opportunity? Why are you applying? How do you want to grow? Example, I'm looking for an opportunity to. I'd like to continue learning and contribute to. Let's repeat together. I'm currently. I've worked. I'm looking for an opportunity to. Simple English, clear English, professional English. And here's something important to remember. Interviewers are not expecting perfection. They are not looking for the most advanced vocabulary. They are not looking for long, complicated sentences. They are looking for someone who can communicate clearly, someone who understands their own experience, someone who can explain why they are a good fit for the role. Remember, you don't need perfect English. You need organized English. You need relevant English. And you need confidence, because a short, clear answer is often more powerful than a long, confusing one. And when you answer with confidence, you immediately sound more professional, you immediately sound more prepared, and you immediately make a stronger first impression. So before your next interview, practice this formula again and again: present, past, future. Because sometimes one simple structure can completely change the way you sound in an interview. If you enjoyed today's lesson, please like this video. Comment below which part of introducing yourself is the most difficult for you. Is it talking about your experience, talking about your strengths, or speaking with confidence? Share your answer in the comments. We'd love to hear from you. And don't forget to subscribe to Focus English with CC for more job interview and workplace English lessons. Thank you so much for learning with me today, and I'll see you in the next lesson. Bye, everyone.